Donovan Mitchell scored a career-high 57, but it was an 8-second violation in OT that proved costly in Utah's series opening 135-125 loss to Denver. Meanwhile, Jamal Murray, clutch, scored 20 of his 36 points in the fourth quarter OT. He scored or assisted on 31 of the Nuggets' last 37, including all of their 12 shots made during that span. Max Kellerman, Donovan Mitchell, or Jamal Murray? Who's better?
Donovan Mitchell. They're both fantastic young players. Jamal Murray's still getting better. He has tremendous upside. Donovan Mitchell is like he's in the body of a small point guard with the game of a great two guard, right? But he's an underrated passer. Donovan Mitchell can pass the ball. He's a more complete player, I think, than given credit for on offense. And the main thing is his explosive scoring ability. Like 57 points in a playoff game. 57 points in a playoff game when you're shorthanded, when you're coming in as the underdog. That is special. I know this era is conducive to, high usage players putting up ridiculous cartoonish numbers, as it once was when Wilt Chamberlain and Elgin Baylor and Oscar Robertson, in the early 60s put up those ridiculous Popeye kind of cartoonish numbers, and it's happening again. But still, 57? This ain't 37. 57 points in a playoff game? He was fantastic. And I think when I think of the two players, not where they're going to be, where they are right now, I even think of them switching teams. Like if Donovan Mitchell and was on that team and had what Jamal Murray has around him right now, would my perception of Denver be different? Yes, I would give them an even higher ceiling. He's a little bit closer to kind of superstar level play, I think, right now. And although they're both fantastic young players, I would take him over Murray.
Well, listen, I can't blame you for that because I love me some Donovan Mitchell, but I said it during the season. I'm going to say it again. Jamal Murray is big time, and I think people they better recognize the brother finished with 36 points. By the way, Max Kellerman, he took 13 less shots than Donovan Mitchell. He made 65% of his shots from the field. He made 66% of his shots from three-point range. When this brother turns it on, he can turn it on. He wasn't that active offensively until it really, really counted. He's got athleticism. He's got handle. He can get to the rim. He can pull up. He's actually a better shooter, per se, than Donovan Mitchell, some would tell you. And so when I look at Jamal Murray, obviously he's got the joke on his squad. Michael Porter is emerging. Millsap's a veteran. You see some of the other pieces that he has, whereas Donovan Mitchell pretty much is a one-man show. Mike Conley wasn't there yesterday, so that kind of helped him because that put the ball in his hands more. And as a result, he was able to just wreak havoc and do damage because he is an unstoppable force. The brother is special. But so is Jamal Murray, and I think that Denver's a better team. I'm not going to tell you that I would take Jamal Murray over Donovan Mitchell. What I'm saying is it's a pick 'em. It doesn't matter to me. Either one of them are capable of doing exactly what we saw them do. If Jamal Murray had taken 33 shots instead of 20, he'd have had 50 himself, at least, considering the accuracy with which he was scoring the ball, including 10 points in overtime. He's that kind of marksman. The brother can really, really shoot. He can really, really play. He's a young star in this league that doesn't get nearly as much credit as he deserves. And whether it's the Lakers, it's the Clippers, or anybody else, the biggest reason, as far as I'm concerned, that it's going to be such a tough out is because of him. The Joker can ball, and we get all of that, his size and his IQ and his uncanny and unorthodox ability to do some of the things that he does. But Jamal Murray, to me, is that key. This brother is special, and everybody better look out for him.
I'm not doubting. Jamal Murray's an excellent young player, and he's still getting better. I think if Mitchell had a teammate like Jokic, that kind of combination would correctly be perceived as even better than the combination now with Jamal Murray and Jokic, like closer to elite. Because at this moment, now it might not be this way forever, but at this moment, Mitchell's the better player. And even when you like count in things like you talk about Donovan Mitchell being like a little Dwayne Wade, but he shoots it better than Wade. Doesn't play the defense Wade did, but shoots it better than Wade. I put a premium on the guys who are capable of hitting heights that almost no one else can hit. And Donovan Mitchell's already shown that to me at times, already in his young career, Stephen A. I think about him with a guy like Jokic, for example, on that team. Jokic is clearly the best player on the team. Like if if Jamal Murray had elevated through to the extent that Jokic has, I might pick him to win the whole thing, but he hasn't quite yet. And when I think about it like that, like which guy could pair with another star and really be an elite combination, I think the answer at this moment is Donovan Mitchell.
I just look at Donovan Mitchell. I love him and I love his game, and I'm not disagreeing with you. All I'm trying to say is that if you told me, okay, you can't have Donovan Mitchell, but you can have Jamal Murray, I'm not going to have a problem with that because I consider them very, very, very similar. They're very similar in shooting from the field. They're very similar in shoot from three-point range, and I think Jamal Murray is more of a long-range marksman. Even though it looks like Donovan Mitchell got better numbers from long range barely, I think that Jamal Murray is a sniper, whereas Donovan Mitchell would just take it to the hole and he's an assassin.